I am perfectly made. I can wax eloquent on complex legal issues in English while also belting Guayaquil de mis amores in Spanish. I can change a diaper with one hand and console a crying toddler with the other. I am a woman of color. I am a mom. I am a cisgender millennial who's been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I am intersectional, but my existence is not a box-checking exercise. I am a walking declaration, a woman whose inflection does not rise at the end of her sentences, suggesting that a question has been asked. I did not sneak into CIA. My employment was not and is not the result of a fluke or slip through the cracks. I earned my way in, and I earned my way up the ranks of this organization. I am educated, qualified, and competent, and so then intoxicate people with my effort, my brilliance. I am proud of me, full stop.
Wow, yes, that is an official video from a secretive, covert government spying agency known as the CIA that has a reputation for assassinating democratically elected leaders, overthrowing elections, torturing people, working on mind control, and manipulating the mainstream media for the political purposes of the special interests. And that's the stuff that we know about. And now they're woke. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Okradowski of WeAreChange.org. A lot of very important news to get into today, leaving many people asking ourselves, is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it a UFO? Is it secret U.S. military technology? No, it's none of those things. It's more troubling information coming about Donald Trump's drone program, which we're going to be talking about in this video, as well as the aliens and UFOs, which, of course, there is some new bombshell information about that is definitely worth talking about, since of course there's so much propaganda and disinformation out there. Propaganda, disinformation, usually dismantled by, the CIA, and I don't know about you, but don't you find it odd that there's even the mainline political establishment, along with some mainstream media figures, that knowingly admit that the CIA did some horrible illegal things in the 1950s, in the 1960s, in the 1970s, in the 1980s, and so on, and so on, and so on, and that they were never held accountable for. But now, in our modern day and age, there's absolutely no reason not to mistrust the CIA. And knowing their background, knowing their history, their recent venture into current day culture should definitely be questioned, whether it's promoting Black Panther or now ridiculously overdosing woke talking points, trying to recruit cisgender women of color who fight the patriarchy, have been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, are intersectional, who's also an immigrant and woman. If you didn't know about this, a Latino woman is this is all just very bizarre, especially with the larger egocentric message from an organization that previously smuggled crack into poor urban communities in the United States, while helping establish the war on drugs that has created an untold amount of human suffering. A war on drugs that, of course, will be now expanding to menthol cigarettes and flavored blunts, which the FDA just officially announced that they will not, quote, target black smokers in this ban somehow. Yeah, I really wonder how they're going to pull that one off. Anyway, when the CIA is not being woke or promoting C-rated movies, let's not also forget that the agency has a long history of co-opting liberalism and using it for their own personal benefit. Another important aspect to also ascertain here is the fact that the larger, unaccountable spying agencies has, as of late, within the last few years, moved a lot of their operations to private companies and private firms in order to conduct a lot of their illegal activities, in order to have no oversight. And now we're getting information from CNN that Joe Biden's administration will be partnering soon with some of these private firms, which of course have connections to the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, to, quote, surveil people online, specifically targeting individuals who, quote, spread hate. Again, that term is very vague. They don't give us exact definitions of what they actually mean. And it's supposed to be vague. It's supposed to set a chilling factor that prevents any legitimate criticism of them. And as CNN states, the Department of Homeland Security is limited to how it can monitor citizens without justification. And now private intelligence agencies a part of the multinational corporate globalist control grid, could do that without any oversight, transparency, or accountability. So they're literally moving outside of the law, outside of the Constitution, outside of due process, outside of the legal measures that the government can do in order to set up their own private quasi-Gestapo state. A, quote, legal workaround, according to CNN, which of course will create a situation that is ripe for misuse. And these private intelligence agencies that are really actual government intelligence agencies shouldn't have more carte blanche to be able to do whatever the hell they want to do. Now, another thing to consider here, that this latest promotion of woke culture by Goldman Sachs, Walmart, Amazon, and now the CIA do promote an agenda that helps divide and conquer people, does create a lot of chaos, sow division, and promote idiotic policies like this latest decision from the Red Sox that decided to end their direct donations to a Little League because this is not, again, a made-up headline, because the Little League helps boys. I kid you not, the Red Sox are ending their support of a Little League because there's too many boys in the Little League. And helping out boys or standing up for men, well, you know, that's a big no-no in the woke agenda that the CIA is pushing and attacking anyone calling out. And in related news for being attacked for speaking the truth, don't forget to support us on wearechange.org/donate, whether it's physical mail, checking out some of the products and companies we work with, ways to support us without any money, Venmo, Cash App, cryptocurrencies, and of course, also LukeUncensored.com, which in my opinion is one of the best and easiest ways to help us out and also grow our own independent media platform where we can say whatever we want. And we do. I've been doing a lot of research since yesterday on a video specifically made only for LukeUncensored.com, as we're going to be talking about the latest news article from NBC News that is talking about the gaps in unexpected side effects when it comes to a medical procedure that the establishment wants you to take. Again, a lot of things I want to say here, especially the latest commentary from the Chinese Communist Party mocking India, some interesting data from Gallup. Again, all of it, LukeUncensored.com. After I'm done with this video, we are going to be getting into it right after this, so don't forget to check your email so you could log in and see the exclusive video that is only made for members. Right now, it's at a very low price, but with the way that inflation is going, I'm going to be raising the price in a few days, so get it now at the low rate while you still can. Now, very interestingly, the domestic counterpart to the CIA, which is supposed to be international, but is also now domestic and is becoming more and more political, is also following suit under the Biden administration that has recently dropped charges for rioters and people who attacked federal buildings in Portland, but is, according to many political scholars, very heavily handed, going after the people who participated in the January 6th riot on, of course, the U.S. Capitol, as perfectly exemplified by this latest poster that's being put out by the FBI's official Twitter account asking for the whereabouts of this lady, which Michael Tracy had a very interesting comment in regards to, saying, quote, "Don't know how anyone can sleep at night with this terrifying threat roaming the streets." Now, while one political group gets the book thrown at them, the other political group that does almost very similar events gets their charges dropped, or they even get paid by the state, as this latest announcement from the city of Washington, D.C. that decided that it will pay $1.6 million to settle lawsuits from the protesters and rioters at Trump's 2017 inauguration. Now, there's a lot of things you could talk about legally here. There's a lot of things you could discuss when it comes to police conduct. I don't want to get into any of it, but I think it's pretty clear that we are getting closer to, of course, a two-tier justice system that promotes one ideology and prosecutes another. We're also learning of an FBI raid on an Alaska woman who they're trying to pin on stealing Nancy Pelosi's laptop. People are saying that this is a clear, obvious kind of mistaken identity. Still hasn't stopped the FBI from raiding people's property in the middle of the morning. And what is Donald Trump doing in regards to all of this, with his supporters being lambasted, attacked, put in solitary confinement? There's even reports of torture and allegations of horrible treatment of them in federal prisons. What is Trump doing? Well, Donald Trump is not doing anything for his supporters. And now today we are finding out from the Biden administration that just unsealed a set of rules that were put in place by Donald Trump in 2017 that then President Donald Trump expanded drone use, relaxed rules for the use of drone strikes outside of war zones, gave the Pentagon more control over who they decide to target and assassinate, since of course previously the president would have to call off on each individual assassination, as of course President Barack Obama did, even specifically previously targeting American citizen teenagers in Yemen, which public information shows that he had no ties to any groups that were a threat or even had any plans to threaten or hurt anyone in the United States. Now we're finding out that Donald Trump gave that power to the Pentagon, as well as creating a new rule that hid any accountability, any transparency surrounding these drone strikes. We knew there was a large number of civilian casualties under Obama's drone strikes, but we still don't know the full number and the full ramifications of Donald Trump's drone war. That, of course, he hid from the general public. And if it's not drones in the sky that you got to worry about, it's aliens and UFOs, as, of course, there was recently a provision snuck into the budget of the U.S. government that demanded federal agencies release important information regarding UFOs. That release is set to be made public in just a few weeks from now. We, of course, have previously been talking about this story extensively, and we are waiting for the report to drop on June 1st, which, of course, we're going to be covering here on this independent media broadcast, since, of course, the UFO alien topic has been mirrored with government secrecy, government lies, obstruction of truth, and a lot of disinformation that prevents people from actually knowing the truth. But according to Luis Elizondo, who, by the way, was the former head of the Pentagon's UFI program, there is, quote, some very, very compelling data about technologically advanced unidentified flying objects. The former head of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program said that the government has a moral obligation to tell the public the truth, and as we know of already, there are many documented events of objects in the sky that are defying the laws of physics, the laws of science as we understand them here on Earth. Whether this is advanced technology, whether this could potentially be something like Project Bluebeam, whether this is aliens, it's important to point out here that there still isn't a clear answer on any of those hypotheses, and that we are still waiting for the government to come clean about what they actually know, what they've seen, what they experienced, what they worked on. And because of the government's secrecy here, we don't know the larger question if we're alone on this experience that all of us are going through. And that's a very important question. That's a question that, of course, is on a lot of people's mind. Are we the only life form here? The former head of the Pentagon's secret UFI program said that a lot of this could, quote, constitute an intelligence failure on the level of the events that happened in New York City on September 2001. But we have to understand here, these intelligence agencies usually like to play up the fact that they're incompetent, and in some instances they are, but we also have to understand that this could be a part of a larger psyop to, of course, obscure any potential wrongdoing or even advanced technology that they're trying to keep away from foreign adversaries. And until we actually have some actual accountability, until we actually start asking some serious legitimate questions and demanding the answers to them, we, of course, will have a runaway, unaccountable government that will be abusing its powers to the detriment of the general public by, of course, keeping important information away from you. And that's some bull crap. I don't agree with that. And if you don't agree with that, share this video with your friends, family members. If you have a sibling, this is today's homework assignment. Send this video to your least favorite sibling right now. Family's important. It's important to talk to your family. There's a reason. There's a big agenda against the family unit, but that's a whole nother story. Send this video to your least favorite sibling, and because you do, I am still here, and without you, I wouldn't, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.